Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, we're going to take a look at Numbers chapters 26 and 27. If you're new to the 3-Minute Thought podcast, in the next 3 minutes, we're going to unpack a couple chapters of Scripture as we journey through the Bible chronologically throughout this year. We're in Numbers chapter 26 and 27 today, so open up the Bible and let's dig in. Numbers 26, God commands Moses to take a new census of the entire Israelite population. He does this because the previous generation, the ones who refused to enter the promised land, they had all died in the wilderness. Now, this new count is going to ensure that the next generation is ready to take their place. The census is going to list all the major families of each tribe, totaling over 601,000 men. Now, oddly enough, interestingly enough, probably not too surprising, this is a nearly identical number to the previous count found in Numbers chapter 21. Numbers chapter 1, rather. This shows us that God had preserved Israel despite their own failures. There's one notable absence here that we find if you actually dig in a little bit. The tribe of Simeon had drastically shrunk in numbers. This is because the Simeonites had died in the plague at Peor in chapter 25. There's another one that's going to be kind of interesting, and that comes out in chapter 27. In Numbers chapter 27, the daughters of Zelophehad, and I'm not going to say all their names because that's not exactly all that important. They approach Moses with a bold request. Okay, so these daughters come up to Moses and ask for a bold request. Since their father had no sons, they ask for his inheritance to pass to them. Now, this is a highly unusual request, especially in ancient times, but Moses brings the case before God. God is going to rule in their favor, establishing a precedent that daughters are able to inherit property if there are no sons. This moment is a major step forward under biblical law. Okay, so then a major transition happens here in this next part of the chapter. God tells Moses that his time is almost up. Because of his failures to honor God back in chapter 20, he's not going to enter the promised land. But before he dies, Moses asks for a successor to lead Israel. God will choose Joshua, a faithful servant and a warrior. In front of the entire community, Moses lays his hands on Joshua, publicly commissioning him as the next leader of Israel, the one who will take them into the promised land. These chapters remind us that God's plan will move forward even if and when we are incapable. Leadership changes, but God does not. An entire generation passed away here, and yet God remained faithful. God will be faithful to you and I as well, and that's where we're going to leave things today. Be well, friends.